I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill, and here's your latest weather forecast from the KMET Weather Center. For the afternoon hours in the Beaumont and the Banning area, sunshine dominates, that high at 95. Afternoon hours in the IE area, sunshine, highs upper 90s. And for the daytime in Coachella Valley, sunshine, expect high at 106. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. We've got Jesse Sanchez over there. We've got a lot of things going on. It is the weekend. Yeah. A lot of things to look forward to. I know a lot of people are enjoying the sun while it's here. Remember, enjoy it while it's here, because when it gets cold, it gets cold. I remember in 2020, I was thinking about it. In 2020, the latter part of 2020, it was really warm. December was unusually more like, I want to say August or September, and it did not feel like a wintry wonderland. So I know last year it was really cold, and I remember we got like a couple heaters just to kind of like be, warm. But we live in Southern California where it doesn't get that cold. And even then, I remember my mom, she was like, I need, heat. And so we had the big blankets. So when do the big blankets come out? I don't know. But right now, enjoy the heat while you got it. Enjoy the pool weather and enjoy the fun. We got Jesse Sanchez over there. Jesse, what's going on?
Oh, good morning. I am loving today.
Yeah, I could
Mainly because
tell.
Friday.
Yeah, I could tell. I could tell. A lot of things going on, and there's some things that are probably coming up soon when it comes to stuff that we're like, okay. So I say this: while you have fun, just enjoy things safely. Remember, there's still stuff here, and remember, there's some people that are will never get in the hospital. That's what I say. We have our very own Joel Prevost, which actually will not be on the show today. He actually broke his collarbone, and that's not good. I broke my collarbone. I hated it. There's no way to really fix it. You just have to like brace it and then kind of keep it in its place. So I have a little kind of heel on this side. It's stronger than the other collarbone. But I remember when it happened, man, I was unable to move. So if you think of anything, think of being, safe out there. And I hope he's good. I hope he's good to go, and he'll be safe along the way. I don't know how he broke his collarbone, but I know that'll be a story when he's on probably the show, probably in a couple weeks. So he's got time to heal. So yeah, have you ever broken anything like that, Jesse?
I have broken my left wrist because I fell out of a tree. Do not ask why I was in the tree. But yeah, it snapped in two,
Ooh.
and that was the only part of that I broke.
Which one, left or right?
My left.
Oh yeah. Is it stronger or weak?
Honestly, I don't really use this hand too much.
Yeah.
I did notice that the bone feels a little bit different than my right hand.
Yeah.
So, but it was funny because I had my arm positioned to where I was looked like I was raising my hand.
Yeah.
Really, once. Oh, it was not
Oh,
good.
like
But,
in a cast, you mean? Like where you can't move it?
yes,
Uh,
yes. But at least I was able to win arm wrestling contest, so that was all good.
okay, that's hilarious. Yeah. I remember they put a cast on me, and you're right, it goes all the way up past the elbow. They have ones now, which are really smart, and they wrap its fiberglass, and then it hardens, and it just is around the area. But they want the bone to heal, and they don't want movement. I think that's the thing. But they could do it a little bit different. I think they do it kind of like back in the day of the 50s, and they kind of need to just look at more modern stuff. But at the same time, just don't end up in the hospital anytime soon, especially in LA. All the numbers are up, and they're really bad, by the way, Jess. Coronavirus numbers are up. Monkeypox is becoming bigger and bolder in our neck of the woods. Confirmed cases too. So a lot of people are getting it all over the place. We're like, what next? So the good thing is there's a lot of things if you want to have fun at home or you don't want to spend money. I know a lot of people are kind of cutting back on their finances because they kind of have no finances. I mean, in the next few weeks So I say this: have fun, enjoy things that you can enjoy at home. I know my mom and I are kind of getting caught up on some shows, some films on Netflix. I will say this: She-Hulk. Jesse really likes it. He enjoys it. And is it a series or a film? What is it, Jess?
It is a series right now. It's around like 30 minutes long for each episode, but
Oh,
I'm loving it. It is hilarious. I
okay,
love it.
okay. Well, they gave a nod to Edward Norton. If you remember the Hulk, I always thought when Edward Norton played the Hulk, I thought it was a really smart way to do it. Right? There were other Hulks I was like, I don't understand. But Edward Norton, just smart, right? And then when he like, cause he's so thin, right? He's like but super smart, right? Like, so I believed him as Banner. And then they didn't do any more with him. And I thought, oh, that's kind of weird. But back to Spider Man, they have the Spider Verse. So they have like, if you saw the latest Spider, you'll realize that even though there are different actors, they could bring them all back, right? Even villains, like if they die, they can bring them all back. And now they have a new Venom. You remember the old Venom, but they could bring the old Venoms back because they could bring all the villains back because it's the multiverse. Because basically they broached that a while back, when they kind of stepped back in time and stepped forward and all that stuff. So I think it's kind of cool because they have different timelines. Kind of like, remember in Avengers Endgame, they realized, like, in one he was dead and then another he wasn't dead. That's kind of the multiverse. So I think it would be cool if they had Edward Norton come in all of a sudden as another Hulk, like Mark Ruffalo, and maybe, who else played the Hulk at different iterations?
It was no, Bruce Banner or Edward Banner. I can't remember.
Oh
I know.
yeah, Banna. Yeah. I didn't care for that one, but they could bring him back because he's part of the Marvel verse, right? Even though it's done by different productions, they could bring him back technically. That's how Sony kind of like did a thing with Marvel. But I think if anything, you could kind of realignment anyone that's still alive, and you could bring them back. So I think that's cool. That's what I'm hoping they're going for. I think they're kind of giving a nod like it's coming. I love that they're bringing back Daredevil. In a way they kind of introduced that in Spider, the movie. So you're like, whoa. So the series, which was originally on Netflix, and I know they're making a season 4, I believe, is coming back because it all ties together. They're just in different verses or different universes. So I think there's so many things that they can do. I'm still waiting. I said this to someone, and I know Jesse doesn't believe it because he says it's impossible. But I think it's possible for them to merge in a way, at least a film or two, DC and Marvel. They did it in the comics, Jess. They did it in the comics back in the 80s, and I think they could do it. And if they did it with Sony, never say no, because if you say no, I win that bet.
Okay. The only way that will come into play, it will take several years for them to actually do it. But I think it would be better if they did like an animated version of it instead. It would be better, easier.
I think they need to do a movie form, and then the rest will follow. The rest will follow, man. It's already been done in comic. You know what I mean? You're right. I don't think they've done it in a animated series. Which, if you're a kid or you're wanting like something. Anyway, my point is this: download if you can. Have your mom or your father have Disney Plus. Okay, they have the What If series. They have Loki. I still need to see Loki. Jess, was it good, by the way?
It was good. It was a fabulous series. I actually watched it twice over so far.
Yeah, and they all interconnect. That's what I like about the Marvelverse. I think, if anything, Stan Lee did one of the best things when I remember reading that he met with a bunch of executives. He invited them to his home. He said, look, guys, let's do this. And I think at that moment in time, he said, look, all this intellectual property, it all merges. But this is how we got to roll it. And they gave the outline, and then boom, And then with Disney buying Marvel, well, it really puts everything, I saw a little kid. It was cute. I think because Avengers, if you go to Disney, downtown Disney, they have the Avengers now. And so they have Iron Man. Yeah, I know. Just hasn't been there a long time. But I think if anything, go for the day. Check out Avengers. I gotta go sometime soon. I gotta find someone that actually likes it. There's some people that don't like it at all. But they have Iron Man talking to a kid in the Iron Man suit, and that kid is like, oh, "I love you. You're awesome. You're pretty cool. What else can I ask you?" And he interacts with him because he's got the Iron Man suit. It's pretty cool. So I'm like, can I fit in the Iron Man suit? And I think I need to lose a few pounds just in order to do that.
Yeah, I'll just paint myself green and pretend I'm the Hulk.
Yeah, but I
That'll
think
be
I think DC needs to do something soon because they're kind of losing ground in my opinion. It's always Marvel versus DC. Which one is better? Blah blah blah. But I think something needs to happen soon. Okay, so there you go. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. In other news, a lot of things going on, and question is this: what next? There's a weird virus, Jess, and you know anything that happens in India, we go, wait, what? Right? And there's one that oddly enough, they're calling it something, and I don't know if it's something to like think about. But let me bring up this little child, okay? This is this little child. For those of you listening on the radio and or Alexa, this young girl has a face shield on. This is very recent, and a little mask on, okay? Now, what they're calling it is something odd, and they're saying tomato flu, but they say it's highly contagious. It's been dubbed the tomato flu because they really don't know what it is yet. Speaking of which, Jess, I know that there's some information on those dogs. You know it jumped from 30 to 60 like overnight that died all of a sudden?
Did it? Oh man, I did not know that. But the article I was reading confirmed it to be canine parvovirus.
Oh,
Which
really?
doesn't make sense because if they tested it before and it was negative, why is it showing up now? Unless it's a different kind of parvo?
I think it's a different strain, to be honest. A lot of these are coming, but if you do the research, it's like the variant of coronavirus. Coronavirus was a new variant. They all mutate, right? So they're very similar and alike. But remember, people forget it's SARS. COVID is SARS. It's a version of SARS. If you look at the research there, it's that. So the question is, on this one in particular, what is it, right? According to the health ministry of India, they said it's spreading among children in India. 82 children, okay? And that's actually, especially in a particular area, younger than 5 had been infected by July in the state of Kerala after the first patient was identified in May. Infections have, and you know what? Let me go back to that. Flu in summer is odd, Jess, right? But what do we have coming up with the cold?
Ooh, yeah, we're having fall coming up. But you know what? I think our weather is a bit different than India, right?
It is and it isn't. It's actually more extreme when it comes to the heat. It's super hot. You do not want to be in India in the summer or in the times that it's hot. But even like here, when you think about it, okay, they have said, oh, certain viruses, like there's a tick down. I say, yeah, but what's coming is the flu and cold season, October, November, December. You get what I mean? And that, a lot of people, especially those that kind of are prone to being sick, like if they're elderly or, at a certain age, you want to say, hey, by the way, can you get, because now some people like Jesse and I are like, if we get the flu, we're fine. And we are, because we have better immune system, right? But anyone who's over a certain age or with certain, like, I'll give you a perfect example. People with diabetes. Diabetes is more rampant or more common than you know. And people that have that are already prone to, like, let's say I don't know, someone bites you, right? And they have rabies, right? The question is, will you get sick? Now, if you get a shot when you get infected, you'll be fine, right? You won't foam at the mouth. But if you get sick and then you're giving me a curious face on that. What's going on there, Jess?
Wait. Foaming at the mouth? Wait, what disease are we talking about?
Do you know what rabies is, Jess?
I know.
Does your dog have the rabies shot, Jess?
Nah, yes, it has the rabies shot. You know what? I never actually figured out what.
Look up rabies and see what it causes in humans, okay? If anyone knows, I know the kids of today don't know Old Yeller. But Old Yeller got rabies, so they had to put it down. Don't watch that film. It will scar you for life. I saw it, and I was like, I fell in love with the little dog, and then at the end, he gets rabies from a raccoon. Okay, because a raccoon, like, has rabies, right? Raccoons are known for having a lot of diseases, just so you know. But, you know that report where there was a person who was a male woman, and she got attacked by a bunch of dogs?
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah. Well, I think they have rabies. I think they need to get, like, tested. And I think they kind of need to be put down. Because once a dog has rabies and they're foaming at the mouth, there's nothing good that comes from that. Like a total of 5 dogs attacking a male woman. That's not normal.
What kind of dogs were they?
Oh, good question. I have no idea. But if they have rabies, I guarantee they're going to turn on that owner. Because dogs lose it when they have rabies. Let's say your dog has rabies. He's not a zombie. He gets it. But if he starts foaming at the mouth and then he bites you out of nowhere, it's not because you didn't feed him. It's just because his mind is all over the place.
Oh, did you hear about the fox that attacked the lady?
No, but I've been seeing a lot of animals try to attack people out of nowhere, including a raccoon. I saw one guy. He was looking. Oh, go ahead. Go to that story, Jess.
No, it's just some lady. She was smoking a cigarette outside, but she was on camera, and you can see from the side of the camera. You see this little fox coming up, and it went straight for her, and it would not give up.
They do that. They do that out of nowhere. So if you see a little woolly thing and you're like, it's so cute. I've seen you on YouTube because I've seen some. If squirrels start attacking, that's called rabies. Is getting out of hand. Okay. So just be aware. They might be cute and cuddly and fuzzy, but if you get bit, you got to go to the doctor right away. Okay. They say, oh, get a tetanus shot. I would say get a tetanus shot and a rabies shot. What does rabies cause, Jess?
Yeah, it causes foaming at the mouth apparently, and apparently you can die from this?
Yep.
Yeah, and apparently the rabies shot is a giant needle in the gut, which I'm not happy about, so let's not get rabies.
Yeah, they have a different way of getting rabies. I think that's worst case scenario. But you can, if you get bit, you should test for rabies because there's an outbreak of rabies. Some know, some don't, and some will know in the next few weeks. So just be aware of it. If your dog has the rabies shot, good. But I think this is a new strain, just like this situation in India. So let me just kind of, we'll talk about this next here on the morning show. We gotta take a break. Gotta pay some bills. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
For all you truck and RV enthusiasts, Truckworks right here in Banning is your one-stop shop for the best diesel performance and overall truck and RV needs. Whether you're towing, racing, off-road, or just cruising around town, Truckworks specializes in truck and RV service, maintenance, repair, and performance upgrades for every light and medium-duty truck manufacturer. Bring it down to Terry and the guys at Truckworks. Call 951-922-4776 or visit their website at mydieseldown.com today.
There's more to the water you drink than you think. It's structure that matters the most to your body. So healthy is clean and pure and mineralized, but processed has lost the structure essential to water. It comes right back with the golden ratio. Your glassware is all it takes, so get it right. You'll be sharper by day and sleep better at night. GoldenRatioProducts.com.
Take KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Ruth didn't know she was leaving for good. She knew he would kill her. Could she save herself? Did she feel she was worth saving? How could she best protect her children? To love, honor, and betray, Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her true tale. From submissive to survivor, then thriver. Now living a proud, purposeful life as an optimistic, inspiring, peaceful warrior. Can a person heal from feeling the guilt of a decision altering many lives? Weighted by living grief, moving through lessons learned, self-discovery, and land in self-love? Can someone who's been abused in every way move to self-trust, confidence, and arrive at living in peace? To love, honor, and betray. A sincere, honest letter. To herself and her adult children, Ruth Tunnicliffe shares her story so that others may also find the inspiring, peaceful warrior within. Amazon worldwide, Barnes & Noble, RuthTunnicliffe.com.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us what makes you the number one choice for handling personal injury cases.
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny & Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to PennyandAssociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you, especially those of you on chat. Okay, so here's the information, and it's a little. Well, let me just put it this way. There are certain rhymes that are out there for a reason, okay? And you may think of a rhyme or not, depending on how old you are, okay? Based on the way I say this, okay? And this is basically the information from those in India trying to see what is this, okay? They still don't know what it is. So they're calling it a very bland name called tomato, right? But here's why. It says the infection gets its name from the eruption of red and painful blisters throughout the body that gradually enlarge to the size of a tomato. That's according to a article. Yeah, just you look like you have alarm eyes. What's going on there?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to mentally decide, should I look at images on here for the Oh my god, I should not have looked at the images right now.
Oh, really? They have one? Oh, I gotta look that up. Okay, so it says this. According to an article published in the British medical journal Lancet, and they're very smart, okay, in that article. The blisters resemble those seen on young monkeypox patients. They resemble. They're not monkeypox, okay, just so you know. The disease appears to spread through close contact and is not considered, as they say right now, a life-threatening situation. But I would say it's a little worse than that, okay? You don't want to be infected with this. Now, there's a rhyme, but I can never remember how it goes. All right, anyway, I'll get to that. They say it could be an after effect of a couple different infections, but they really don't know. They say it could be a new variant of hand, foot, and mouth disease. Again, skin to skin. And it's very common among children that are like, well, I think this is going to kind of be a thing. I think it got erupted in a school. Okay, remember what I said about schools? Somebody needs to do something about the school situation because the kids are going to get sick, okay? Now, this is in India. But whatever happens in India, Jess, have you noticed it kind of comes here eventually?
Oh, yes, yes. As big as our planet is with travel, everything is like, we're so close to each other now.
We are. Remember, started there, and they had like pyres and stuff, and you reported that, and you said, "Oh, this is a thing," and then all of a sudden it came here like 3 months later. So we kind of sometimes see these things, and then we go, "What?" So it's not their fault. It's just they're trying to understand it. So they added that the new infection is a illness that tends to resolve spontaneously without treatment. So in other words, it kind of heals eventually. So that's the good news. The bad news is, what does it do eventually long term? And it's kind of like Rosie Posey. What's that rhyme?
I'm not sure what rhyme you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a rhyme. What does it look like, Jess, since you looked it up?
It looks like chickenpox, just bigger red spots. Are you talking about Ring Around the Rosie?
Ring around the Rosie. Na, 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 na. Yeah, that one.
You know the origin to that song, right?
What's the origin, Jess?
It's for the Black Plague.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, yeah, they would put pockets full of posies so that they wouldn't smell and all the other stuff. Yeah, it's horrifying once you figure out what that rhyme's about.
But it start as an itchy rash.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the rhyme exactly, but I remember it had to do, like, I would sing it, and then later on in my years, I'd be like, oh.
We were singing that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those. It goes back, actually, according to this, to 1881, which was the first publication of Ring Around the Rosie. And that was published in English. But, yeah, it's one of those that when you go, wait, what? So what does it look like, Jess?
With the tomato flu?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like chicken pox or like this monkey pox. It looks like you're covered with little red warts, or not warts, but just like blisters, and they're everywhere.
Yeah, all over the body, huh?
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty much you turn to a tomato because there's so many.
Yep. Okay, yeah, I talked to a biologist. They said, a lot of viruses are coming back in a really bad way, including, well, I'm not going to say it because everybody gets scared, but whatever. The bubonic plague, there it is. Okay, I said it. So, which they had an outbreak here in Big Bear, by the way, but they squashed it right away. And that was in 2020. I remember they reported it. I'm like, what? That's a thing? And then others were like, nah, we're ahead of that. And I go, okay, good. So I didn't give it a second thought. But kind of Well, it does something in the body that kind of like says, okay, any dormant viruses, you there, you there, you there, awesome, let's be awesome, and they like are like a steroid to certain viruses. All of a sudden, the virus comes back in a really bad way. What, Jess?
What are the odds of being tested positive for COVID, monkeypox, and HIV?
Hi.
Yeah, apparently one guy has all three.
And there you go. I said it would happen. I said to my mom, like about a month ago, I said, Ma, you don't understand. There are so many things that will get combined. Just focus on the first two, right? Coronavirus and pox. Can you read that article real quick? Because I said this, and I always say, I tell you, I'm always right.
Yeah, let's see. This Italian man reportedly spent 5 days in Spain. Okay, Spain. I've been hearing a lot of bad things about Spain recently. As for COVID, the patient received 2 doses of the COVID vaccine and had already begun contracting the virus in January, but he tested positive for COVID and began developing a rash on his left arm the same day. The next day, small pain vesicles that surrounded a rash appeared on the patient's torso, lower limbs, face, and glutes. The vesicles continued to spread on July 5th and develop into pustules. Oh, I'm so glad I know what that word is, which prompted him to go to the emergency department at the University Hospital in Catania, where he was transferred into the infectious disease unit. And at the hospital, he tested positive for monkeypox after reporting that he had intercourse, condomless of course, and during his stay in Spain. So that's probably where he got HIV.
Yes, yes, and yes. And I'm not going to lie. It's bad for him. A, there's no cure for monkeypox. B, it combined with coronavirus. Now, the question is, how long did he have it, and is it infectious along the way? Now, we are a petri dish of problems, okay, when coronavirus is around, okay? So what people are not understanding, and this is going to happen, okay, because it's just the odds, okay? It's not hard for you to get the cold, the flu, and coronavirus all at the same time, but then it mutates to something that is new. Now, if you don't go out and you don't give it to anyone and you get all right from it, well, then your body is more able to withstand that. But if you get somebody else infected and they're weak or they have an immune system that isn't good or strong, it may not see one of the 3 different viruses, like the cold, right? Because the cold mutated now. That's how cold kind of comes around and kind of does this thing. But it kind of exhibits, you know, a sneeze, right? And exhibits certain like stuffy nose and other things. Your body's like going, oh man, why do I feel this way, right? Fatigue is very common. But the flu causes a fever. That's the difference between a flu and a cold. But coronavirus is a variety of things all mixed up into one. Now, you combine that with something that has monkeypox and another virus like, and trust me, there's a lot of things coming out about different viruses all of a sudden, including some getting cancer. Now, the question is, why are a host of firefighters getting cancer all of a sudden? I have my theory, but I'm going to hold on to that. My point is this, Jess. There is a problem when coronavirus mixes with monkeypox. Okay, let's just take those two. I had a very interesting conversation with a biologist and a chemist, and they said, look, and I had it separately, by the way, but they said, look, you don't understand. This is going to go next level. We're going back to, like, well, I wouldn't say that, but whatever. My point is this. It's going to be bad, and it's going to be bad if you get sick with any one of the 3, right? Which is, well, now combined with HIV. If that guy doesn't quarantine and he doesn't, like, he's a problem to the people around him. Let's say he comes, let's say you used to work at that video store, right? And you're a cashier, and he comes and he sneezes, okay? Well, you know how many people are not wearing a face mask? It's like they don't care. So let me bring this up really quick. This kid's smart, has a little sneeze shield, okay? Not going to lie. A lot of people had that. I said, well, that's different. That's more for doctors. But in India, man, they are, you know, India actually produces a lot of doctors, a lot of nurses, a lot of smart people there, especially biologists, okay? And people that heal us eventually, because they're usually the front row and center. And they're very smart because they go education 100%, right? So if you think of a doctor, you think someone that's from India, they're very smart. There's a lot of medication that actually come from India, okay? But let's go back to reality, Jess. So let's say you get coronavirus and Sorry, you get coronavirus, which is right? But let's say you get coronavirus alpha, beta, and Now that's a different cocktail. They kind of said like Delta combined with a couple other things as of last year, right? Like flu-like symptoms with flu and blah, blah, blah. We're going into the flu season, okay? Now flu already is a problem when you have pneumonia, okay? If you have a problem with pneumonia, you're going to have a problem with the flu. That's why usually they say just get your shot. That way you have a good immunity against it. You don't have 100%, there is no 100% but you have a good immunity against it in case you do come into contact with it with someone you know, right? Now, if you don't go out and you don't but oh man, Jess. Okay, so why is it a problem when coronavirus mixes with pox and HIV?
Right? I'm just trying to think, like, will it form something new, something else? This guy's isolated at home, so I'm just worried, like, yeah, I don't need these three things to have fun and marry into some kind of new virus. You know what? I remember hearing a report about polio. Polio! That was like, should have been squashed like 100 years ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I shouldn't be hearing about polio coming back.
Nope.
Never.
Nope. But it's all coming back because the virus of says, hey, viruses, let's go ahead and amp you up. It kills other good cells in your body, which makes you weak. So if you get any one of these things, all of a sudden you're like an 80-year-old trapped in a 30-year-old body. Okay, some people are seeing this and they're saying, why is this a thing? They're like, no, I'll recover. And then they die. Okay, but they die of the disease that they have most currently. Plus, doctors and hospitals, they're just not doing the research of why people are dying. They're not doing autopsies properly. And they need to. Back to that person who got attacked by those dogs, right? That, male woman, I think she was a male woman, right? She got attacked by dogs, but there are viruses in humans and animals that are getting big, okay? So if you just go to I Am Legend, all right, and you scale back, you say, okay, we're not becoming zombies, thank God. But if you go to that and you remember the dogs were sick with the virus, right?
Yes. I remember that movie, and you know what? In that whole movie, that's the only scene that crushed me.
But they became rabid, do you remember?
Yes, I remember.
And they want to attack you no matter what. They're still alive in their head, but they just want to eat you. Right? You get it? 5 dogs attacking a male lady. Chess. They need to do something with those dogs. They need to test them and say, okay, I hope they didn't get infected with some other thing, because I guarantee that owner will be dead in a few days, and they'll be like, it's not the dog's fault. They're probably good dogs. I love dogs. But if a dog gets rabies, Jess, there's nothing good with rabies. You gotta put them down, because especially if they're foaming at the mouth, usually it's too late. I think there's a way to save them still, but you don't want to get attacked by that dog, and you definitely don't want to get bit. Because now you have rabies in your body because it gets into the blood, and then when you start foaming at the mouth, it's like a flu-like symptom because you're like, they used to call it yellow fever, which that's why they call it old yeller, but whatever. So yeah, so Jess, it's bad. What are you looking up?
I wanted to look at the dog breeds, and of course it's what I thought it was. There were pit bulls. They were probably bred to attack and stuff like that. It's not their fault. It's the owners for raising them like that.
Yeah, but I say this: test them. Whenever they test certain dogs, if you get bit by a dog, they say, "Oh, get a tetanus shot," and I say, "Yeah, but get tested for rabies." Okay, if you test for that, I can almost guarantee it's a thing. So we're gonna see a lot more attacks. All of a sudden, kind of like the one that you mentioned. I saw one. I didn't think much of it because the raccoon just kind of came out of nowhere and came at the guy, and I thought, oh god, it's like those movies where a raccoon goes and, but that's because they have rabies. Because the guy wasn't doing anything with the host of the family, which were behind the. If you see it, it's on a TikTok video. You'll see what I'm saying. And there's a bunch of raccoons coming out of a kind of like an alley. And he has his camera on, and then all of a sudden, this little raccoon comes out of nowhere around the block and goes, "I'm gonna attack you!" Ah! And raccoons normally don't attack, but the only reason they attack, Jess, is when they have rabies. Just so you know.
Yeah, there's only one story that's come out recently where I wondered if they did have rabies, and that's only because of this breed of dog.
Okay.
So the story, it was, I think, about last week. 5 Great Danes killed their owner.
Oh, Great Danes are very nice. They don't do that, Jess. They killed the owner?
Yeah, so I'm thinking either they had rabies or she beat them and did something to traumatize them. Because I've never heard of an angry Great Dane before. Those things are just like giant teddy bears.
Well, I would see her beating them if they got aggressive. I could see that. Get away from me. But usually Great Danes and owners like that, those are tall dogs, man. Those dogs are very docile. You get a little chihuahua around them, what? But I'm not saying they can't get violent. They all can get violent. Back to I Am Legend, okay? Those that have seen it, my mom has never seen it because it's zombie apocalypse, right? But he's the one immune from all that stuff, right? So he's survivable. And then he finds that whole village of people that, are basically, okay because they're isolated away from the rest of the world. But the world goes bad all of a sudden because everybody gets a virus, okay? That's kind of where we're going. So I say this. I know people are against vaccine, okay? I get that. But I would rather get a vaccine than get the repercussion of any virus that's mutating out there. Back to this one in India, okay? This one in India is bad, okay? And it's going to get worse. I've been talking to biologists and chemists, usually behind the scenes, and I'm like, okay, what is wrong with this? They said, look, you don't understand. The virus of creates so many different variants of other diseases. When it mixes like a cocktail. And when you mix a cocktail together, anyone that drinks, they'll understand this. Like you take rum, you take vodka. Usually you don't mix the two ever, right? Because they're weird. But doesn't care. It's like, look, you're a virus, you're a virus, you're a virus. Let's band together. And then it kind of clumps together and it creates a new virus. Now, in that host, it usually kills the host if they're not immune to any one of those things. But when it combines, it makes all of your antibodies and all the stuff that usually kills it, your immune system, say, what are you? And it doesn't give it time. And it says, ha, 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 I survived, you die. So the virus is like this, like, I don't know how to put it. It's like you, Jess. You would do anything to survive, right?
Of course I would. Any human would do anything to survive.
So think of us surviving, and then think of you as the... I have to say this. It's sad, but I'm going to say this. You ever watch Stargate?
Of course. I've watched... Wait. Oh, my God. Where are you going with this?
You're a body. You're a host of viruses in your body. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay, so you're the host, and they're like a what?
Like, I don't know. Are you talking about the gold? How they use them as, like, hosts and stuff?
Yeah. They're like a parasite, right? And they enter your body. They stay in your body. That's a virus, okay? Now, it speaks, virus talk to other viruses, and it says, look, guys, we're going to kill that one, that one, that one, and that one. But they don't know where they're at. They're just in the body, okay? Did you ever see War of the Worlds?
Yes, of course.
The one with Tom Cruise.
Yes, I remember that.
What kills the alien? A little virus at the end, right? It's like, they're like, oh, the smallest thing killed the alien because it didn't have immunity. Kind of like back in the days of Columbus, right? They brought viruses to this country, right? At that time, it was their country, right? The native. And the native, or the indigenous, right, were not immune to certain diseases that they're called the Westerners, but the British people basically brought over to this land of territory because the people were not immune. Now, think of combining with polio, pox. You get it? Not only are they causing them, and certain people like this guy who got HIV, coronavirus, and monkey, those in the petri dish of him as the host create a new virus that could be spread when he sneezes and droplets go all over the place. So would you want a mask on? The answer, yes. Would you want to wipe it down as soon as he sneezes? Yes. Would you want to Lysol that as much as possible? Yes. You want to get rid of that as soon as possible, okay? You don't want what he's got. Because, yes, HIV can be transmitted through the blood and or sexually transmitted disease. That's an STD. Monkeypox is not an STD, but when it combines with HIV, well, that's a problem. HIV in its very later stages, if you ever look at an HIV patient, before they die, they become emancipated, meaning they lose all the weight, they become like a skeleton, and they have big what on their body, Jess?
I don't know because I have not researched this.
Okay, when you research a AIDS patient, Google that. Okay, research that. You're going to see an AIDS patient full-blown before they die. Okay, and there's some people like Bohemian Rhapsody. He died like that. Okay, and they die in a hospital and they become emancipated. They lose a lot of weight all of a sudden, and then they have huge stuff on their skin. Okay, did you see it, Jess?
Okay. It is too early for me to be looking at these images right now.
You're welcome. So, don't come around somebody who has all three, okay? Because if this guy got it, other people can get it. I'm telling you, man, it's bad. Okay, and then you don't even have to. Go ahead, Jess. What did you see?
No, I'm just looking at the images. I can't stop. Oh my god, I feel horrified right now.
It's
I see, like I shield myself. I shield myself from a lot of these things. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know too much. So when I start looking at them, I'm just
Well, it's good to be aware. Look, we don't have that here yet. But if a HIV mixes with coronavirus, mixes with monkey or polio, now you create kind of, and I hate to say it, so I won't say the B word, a host of things that when someone sneezes, you can get any one of the three. Now HIV is airborne because gets you like a cold-like symptom all of a sudden, especially when you get 1 or 2. Yeah, because 1 and 2 kind of mask as a cold. So now you start sneezing a lot when you have coronavirus, right? But a lot of people don't report it because they report, oh, I have if they go and get tested at the hospital. But a lot of people aren't getting tested at the hospital. That's why all of a sudden they're like, oh, no one's getting the coronavirus. That's because everybody has those self-test home kits now. They don't report it when you get it, okay? You don't report it, therefore you're not part of the all, which are reporting, oh, coronavirus. So that's why the ticks are down. But in the next few months, you're going to see the ticks up, and they're going to say, another surge? That's where we're going, Jess. And I'm saying that now to stay safe, to put your thinking cap on again, and just be aware. There's nothing wrong, with just putting one of these on. Now, which is a face mask. I have one here always. I have one in the car. I have one around me all the time, right? I just put it on, done, right? It sucks because you can't hear people when they speak. But there's a warning here in LA, Jess. And pretty soon, I think it's coming to San Bernardino, okay? Because it usually does. It usually trickles down. I don't know why San Bernardino is so late on this. We tweeted this, okay? KMET tweeted this. Go in and look at the warning, and then you'll see it. It's news about kids if they have monkey pox, okay? It's saying, look out for this if your child has it. Now, does your child have relations with a guy or a girl at that age? The answer, no. That's why I say, don't get in your head that it's a community thing and that it could be spread in that way, because then you're going to be dumb about it, okay? Anybody can get it when you come across someone who has it on their skin. So they're saying this, monkeypox safety for children. Here's what it is. It's the LA Public Health, okay? Here it is, so you guys can see. Okay, let me put that on the camera. There it is, okay? I'll tweet it again. Follow me, Aaron M. Sanchez. It says monkeypox safety for children. Remember, there are many common causes of rashes in children. Back to India again, a rash, but they're calling tomato. It's like, rosy posy on the skin. Okay, remember there are many common causes of rashes in children, and the risk of monkeypox in children is currently extremely low. Currently. There's a reason this warning's out, though. It says, if any unexplained rashes appear on your child, please do the following. Very important. All right? You ready, Jess?
Yep. Go ahead.
If any one of your nephews and our little ones, have one of these things, you say, by the way, and you say, hey, you need to take it to the doctor, okay? Do not, and I repeat, do not. Well, let's put it this way. I would be like, flee for the hills. Okay, I already said, if I went on a date and somebody was infected with this, I'd be like, you're not getting into this vehicle. No way, Jose. And then I would go, stay somewhere and be away from my mom, because I'd be like, you know what, Ma, there's a potentiality that I may have it, right? Until I'm clear within the next, 3 to 4 days. Because that's how quick it starts to, get in a certain place. God, I'm itchy just talking about it. It says, call your child's doctor. Don't touch lesions before talking with their doctor. Keep your child home and keep the rash covered. I guarantee the whole family's going to get it. Assist your child in practicing good hand hygiene. Okay, you have a little 3-year-old or 4-year-old or 5-year-old that gets monkeypox, yes. Are they going to... Did you just scratch yourself?
Yes, you got me itching my elbows and stuff. Oh my god.
Isn't that weird just talking about it? I know. Okay, so my point is this. But imagine a little kid. See, I'm itching just thinking about this. Imagine a little kid, right? Is that kid going to be like, oh, I'm not going to itch that or scratch that when they're not looking at you?
Right? I mean, come on. I mean, I would do it.
Exactly. Now, they rub up against you. Mommy, I don't feel good. Please help me. Right? It's not the kid's fault. Right? It's not the kid's fault. Okay, that's number one. Number two is this. Where did they get it? From the school or a person who's infected, like the parent. So don't blame the kid, okay? But I guarantee if you have a kid, man, they are going to give it to you 100%. When one gets the flu, others get the flu. That's when Ma gets the flu. All Ma in the house Yeah, you know, okay? Let's go to social media, see what you guys say about this. Because that's just the thing. Parents know. When their kids get sick, they know they're going to get sick. It just happens. It's going to be a thing, okay? And a lot of parents go, well, that's the duty of a parent, but not with monkeypox. All right, Rosie says, hello, happy Friday. I know she's got some kids, too. She says, we should make a midnight club. I was thinking about that literally yesterday, like, you know, because I used to go out at 9 o'clock and, like, do, like, a little streaming thing. We should. That would be fun. Let's see. Stephanie says, hello, happy editing. Onset of 2 commercials for this glorious, gloomy, awesomest, busy day ahead today. And Rosalie says, hey, that would be awesome. Marvel and DC together, my favorites, right? And then, let's see. Mark says, good morning. Let's see. Says, on the Big Bang Theory, he is immortal. Not sure who he's talking about. Eugenia says, it's going to be extremely cold this winter. The soil up northeast wet 5 feet in the ground. Imagine frozen mud in winter. Says, please don't put yourself in harm's way when it comes to sick animals. True. Says, I was on a farm. I did a, I did a Google eyes to a kangaroo because I hear he was sick. I had a like she did a googly eyes to a little kangaroo. It says, I had a cute face at him that, that one punched her at 13. Oh, that's what they do. Says, I was trying to make the kangaroo's day. That joker's punched me in the nose for trying to cheer him up. Yeah, they could do that. It says, animals can be moody. Yeah, kangaroos, you don't see it coming. They're so quick. Let's see. It says, I had a girlfriend who was in remission with her cancer for 15 years. The talk she caught COVID probably triggered the cancer. She died last week. Yeah. It's a thing, Jess. Look up firefighters and cancer, okay? They're wondering how they got cancer all of a sudden because a bunch of them are getting it. Let's see. It says, these diseases pretend to dance on the cells and attach themselves one after another. Yeah, they do. They combine. I'm glad Eugenia is smart about that. She's very smart. And she says, yeah, people are not taking it seriously, especially people in Europe. Some are, some are not. I have a friend who's actually touring from Canada, and she's in Europe. And sometimes I say, hey, are you okay? But, you know, she's like, of course I am. I'm like, oh, I don't want to say, hey, by the way, be more safe than sorry. Because, you know, sometimes they don't think it's a thing. But it is a thing. So if you have friends like that, sometimes you can't tell them anything because then you're looked at like the odd duck. But I say this. Be safe than sorry. Know it's around. Know that you don't have it, Jess. You know, I don't think you know anyone that has coronavirus, HIV, and monkeypox. But if you did, would you want to be around them anytime soon?
You do. I don't even want to be near anybody who has the flu.
Why?
Because I don't want to get the flu. Because I know I'm a giant baby when I get sick.
But you've gotten sick in the past couple of years, and you got well from it. But in the meantime, what people don't see off camera, sometimes they take the day off because he's like, oh, I feel horrible. And he's like, and he's just like, I don't want to go on camera. I'm like, all right, whatever, let's take the day off, okay? So for your sake, I've done that, okay? So, you know, so yeah, he's right. He is a baby. Okay, let's take a quick little break. We'll be back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Your pharmacy and mobility solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
Out the door, in the car, off to work. The same old morning routine. Take a break and stop for hot coffee or a latte and a fresh homemade cinnamon roll or chocolate cream puff. Donut Delight on Highland Springs Road in Banning is a locally owned family business with a friendly staff and customers who are always glad to see you. Get your morning off to a great start at Donut Delight on the corner of Highland Springs Road and Ramsey Street right off the I-10 freeway. Serving the Pass area for 22 years. Donut Delight is open at 4:30 a.m. daily.
What is commitment and why is it so hard to achieve? The new book, Committed, by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will make you reevaluate the way you think about love. Committed is a relationship manual that unfolds in 2 parts. the work you need to perform on the inside, and the 7 distinct archetypes you will encounter on the outside. Committed, a new book available on Amazon by Dr. Carmen Hara and Alexandra Hara, will help to find and keep the love you deserve. Committed, available now on Amazon.
Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 AM, FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Yvette interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
Don't let insurance companies make decisions for you. Go to Pass Auto Center in Banning, your one-stop repair facility with full collision repair, auto maintenance, service, and an authorized smog center. You'll also find a full-service used car lot to fit every budget with the right vehicle for you. Trade-ins are accepted and they pay cash for your car. Pass Auto Center at 2609 West Ramsey in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway between Sunset and 22nd. Call 951-849-7878.
Everybody loves to hear what Grandpa has to say because Grandpa speaks with wisdom. Here on KMET, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Be sure to listen.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. I do stay on a little after. I may stay on a little bit. There's a news story actually about teachers. There is a shortage of teachers. They quit. I don't know why they quit, Jess. They quit at the wrong time. Now there's a shortage of teachers. And I had a conversation with someone, and he said, look, I think we're going to have to do an incentive to hire teachers. And I said, yeah, but how many teachers are going to apply? Because he asked for certain credentials. He says, yeah, I know, but. And I said, look, you guys are not ahead of this. You need to start opening it up kind of like, you know, for people that, you know, just have like a program that, because it's from a textbook. It doesn't, I mean, sometimes they go, oh, you need a master's degree to be a teacher. No, you don't. You teach the little kids. You don't need a master's degree. You need like psychology 101. I get that. But even then, you could teach that really quick in a course. So they need to ramp up teachers because there's not enough teachers. And now they're calling one burnout. So it's just, you know, it's a thing. Anyway, I'll be talking about that in the after show program. I gotta let Jess go. Jess, are you okay over there? Are you gonna be good? Are you gonna be fine?
Yeah, I'll be good. I'll be good. Just a little traumatized from all the pictures I've been Googling. I should not be Googling that early.
Well, at least you're aware of it, right? So when I say wear a face mask, don't get those things. And don't be that guy to get all three, right? Because guaranteed, you're going to be like, but I didn't have that with someone. I say, you never know. Bye, Jess. For those of you tuning in, thank you for tuning in. Let's do some shout outs right now. Brenda tuning in, thank you. Renee tuning in, thank you. Says you keep LA up to date. That is what we're trying to do. I know. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. When you guys share, we appreciate that as well. Share to your timeline and just share and just say, hey, by the way, this guy says this or that. Whatever kind of jumped out at you, that makes sense, okay? Rita Johnson tuning in, thank you. And let's see, others as well on Twitter. Thank you. Let's see. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so a lot of things are going on, okay, and it's all over the place, right? But I want to say this, okay? When it comes to teachers out there, okay, teachers for a long time have been taken advantage of. I talked about that in 2020, okay? I said, look, you need to pay teachers more. Now, back to incentive. They're going to incentive people to come back to work, and they're going to say, in essence, hey, we need help because there's not enough teachers, okay? I actually, as of like, I want to say 1 or 2 months ago, probably about 2 months ago, I was at an event in Long Beach, okay, and there was a teacher there, and he was like mid-40s, okay, maybe early 50s, but he looked mid-40s, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm taking retirement, and I'm like, why? You know, because I'm like, you know, I mean, and I get it, certain teachers are like, you know, I want to, like, you know, rest, I want to have, you know what I mean, but, like, I'm like, do you have enough, like, I get retirement, but do you have enough? You know what I mean? And then, like, I always ask this: are you in it to win it when it comes to kids? There are some teachers that are in it to win it. I say, well, let me put it this way: if you ever had a teacher, there are some teachers are in it to help, and then there are some teachers that are just like frustrated. There's an article about a lot of teachers right now frustrated. It calls it burnout, okay? And they're like, okay, how do we not burn out these people? Let me bring this up. It says school districts move to ease teacher stress, okay? There's a picture. I wish I could, share it, but I can't without my computer slowing down. It says a lot of things about, a 2-day workshop to help them with burnout. Now, I say this. If you could pay for someone to come in and have a workshop, you could pay, you get it? I've always said this, pay the teachers more. They're underpaid. You pay them more, they'll be fine. Okay, you have the money. I know you do. But you cut, like, the teachers first. Now, I say this, all the big guys that, like, meet in a room, pay them less, give the teachers more. For some reason, the ones who make the decision, who are not in the schools, are not in the classes, I'll just call it does everyone wrong, okay? And when it does everyone wrong, everyone says, in essence, we don't have enough to go around, because they got to take from their own, you get it, because they get summer, and I get that, but again, they're going, okay, what can we do so these people stop quitting? There are too many teachers quitting. Why are they quitting? I don't know. I think it's done. Hold on to your job, muscle it, don't go somewhere else, okay? There's a report about a guy, and I was like, man, you are dumb. Because if you care about kids, okay, there are a lot of teachers, and they'll tell you, they don't do it for the money. They do it for the kids. Those are the teachers I say, give them more. We need more teachers like that, okay? And I know you know teachers like that. Those are the ones who usually have an influence on you, which is why you are where you're at today. But so many teachers are not taken, like, you know what I mean? I have a friend, and I met her, and her husband got married, and she was like, you don't get it. I serve, and she serves a certain area in LA, okay? And she was like on the verge of quitting. I said, no, muscle it. You're doing the right thing. She goes, you don't understand the board, man. They tell you you're cheating. She said, my whole class, I got them to be really good at testing. And then they blame me for like cheating, which I didn't cheat. I just know how to train them. And that was like in South Central. Okay. And she was smart. But she was on the cusp of something now I'm seeing as a national thing. You're going to see more stuff out there, more incentives for teachers. So if you are a teacher or you need some more money, go back to teaching. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say it's easy. In this, and I hate to say this, but in this, where we're at, a lot of kids are stressed out, all right? And teachers are stressed out. But a lot of the teachers in 2020, I mean, come on. You did it virtually. What's there to be stressed out about? Get your head in the game, do the right thing, and do it. Well, I say don't do it for the money. That guy that I spoke to, I didn't like. I'm not going to lie. Okay? Because he was calling out kids in his own class. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what kind of teacher are you? And I kind of went at him really hard. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're saying because he went at a special needs kid, okay? And I'm like, you're a teacher of that, and you talk like that behind the scenes? If the parent were here, what would he or she say? Yeah, some of these teachers are a little too like, oh, God. And I'm like, yeah, quit, all right? We need new blood. We need good blood, okay? But pay them what they're worth. That's what I say. Pay them what they're worth, okay? Because a lot of teachers are feeling burnout, okay? Because A, there's more work, okay? Because there's less teachers. That's what's happening. That's what you're going to see a lot of. So if I could say anything to anyone, please, please, please pay teachers what they're worth, okay? The cost of living has gone up so much, it's going to be a problem in the next few years if we don't get enough teachers. Your kids are going to suffer, okay? And when your kids suffer, they suffer long, okay? That's why some said, hey, this virtual thing, we got to stop. And I say, no, there's a way to do it. Just do it smart. And I get it. Then they put certain things on certain parents like, wait, now I need daycare. Now I need this. Now I need that. I say, well, get with family. Get it, because I guarantee with monkeypox in the next few weeks or next few months, we're probably gonna have a lockdown on certain school districts because it's gonna be a breakout, okay? And when there's a breakout in your school, you do not want your kid bringing monkeypox home. You don't. You'll say eventually, and I think there was one that's listening and tuning in says, hey, for a few weeks, she kept her kids at home, helping them out. And she works, right, full time. But she did the right thing during the right time because a lot of people are getting sick, right? And they end up in the hospital. Who ends up with that? You, the parent. So I say, look, if you're going to think about anything, think about your kids. Think about those that, do the right thing and keep them safe. But it's getting stressful for, people that are parents and teachers that have full-time jobs, right? Sure, they might take off a few months, but there's a way to do it. I had a conversation with a very smart person, and they're like, how do we do it to make it so it's less stress on, people? And I said, look, your curriculum is just not the way it should be, all right? It's like work. Certain workplaces are more productive when you minimize and you don't add. They add way much, okay? And here's the problem. They go, no, they need to be busy. No, they need to have fun. They need their time of their mind to kind of recuperate from all the stuff you're throwing at them, okay? Core. Have you ever sat down with someone who knows core? Okay, parents that know core, you're blessed for having tried to figure that stuff out, okay? You go back to the math of the 80s and the 90s, I guarantee the kids will be smart. Okay? There is no one I know that knows core, and I ask them a complicated question, and they're able to answer it. There's just not. And I'm like, what happened? Okay? Math. You're teaching it in a weird way. We were taught all the way from probably the early 1800s on, probably even further, how to add and subtract. Normal way is what I say. I said it to a little kid. He goes, you're cheating. I go, no, this is the way we were taught when we were kids. He goes, that's not the way to do it. I go, it is a way to do it. He goes, no, it isn't. And I said, oh boy. I said, can you just consider it? This is how I do math really quick. It took me quicker to do it, add, subtract. But the kids nowadays don't do that. It causes more stress on parents, and it causes more friction along the way because the kids get frustrated because the mind doesn't think that way. It's very systematic, left to right, right to left. All right? Yeah, it's weird. Okay, if you've been around your kid and they teach you core and you were taught in the 80s and the 90s, I guarantee you're frustrated already. Okay, it's complicated. And I go, why not just simplify it back to the way it was in the 80s? Kids were much more smart then. I'm not saying that they're not smart. I'm just saying they're having a hard time computing a very simple calculation. And then take a calculator. Calculator does it really quick and fast. But you just do above and below. Add, subtract. Easy. That's it. You keep it simple. But this Common Core stuff is complicating everyone, okay? And it's getting teachers upset, mad, and angry. And even they're having to relearn things. But if you just go back to the way math was done always, like with the majority of us, you teach like any one of the administrative staff right now, Common Core, and they'd be like, that makes no sense. Parents that know, they're like, yeah, that's what I've been saying. So whoever put that, like, get rid of that. That's number one. Number two, minimize the amount of hours that kids learn. And some say, no, we need to put it all in. The majority of kids don't use all that stuff. They just don't. Okay? People fight this, but I go, why do you start so early in the morning, right? And then so late in the afternoon, right? Some have shortened days. That's usually so teachers can learn, right? And I get it. Everybody needs a certain amount of hours. But even teachers would appreciate, and this always is kind of a hot topic, but whatever. There was a university that they wanted to fund if they could figure it out. We had them on the show, and they're like, no, we're going to enter to win, right? And this was in the San Bernardino district, like near Rancho Cucamonga area, right? And Google was giving a lot of money to be like, okay, can you figure it out? Right? And they combine with a bunch of other ones to do grant money for like a super university is what they call it, right? I would get with that and then say, look, do it this way, do that way, and do this way. They say, no, it doesn't work. I say, it does work. You just got to try it. Back to employers. Employers that incentivize, okay, and but you get salary, not hourly. There is nothing good that comes from hourly for a certain type of work, okay? Now, if you think fast food, yeah, okay, hourly, right? But we're not talking fast food. We're talking education. So you pay salary. That's number one. Okay. Now, if you just do salary, which majority do, you don't think hourly, you keep it more brief than not. The kids will figure out what to do along the way, okay? But this stuff is weird. Now, if I had the money, I would open a university, right? And I would start it at the ages of, honestly, I don't know yet. But I would do this. It's very simple. You minimize the amount of work hours because it's work. Okay, kids go to school, but it's work. You think, oh, it's fun, and yeah, recess is fun. Friends are fun, right? That's fun. But when you're learning, you got to learn in increments, right? You ever been at a seminar and you're like, oh my God, I can't put all this in my head. Some people do really well with it, others don't, okay? Now, some do well with virtual and some do not, okay? So I'm talking about the ones that do not. Okay, now, you need recess. Why? Because it helps the mind out, helps the body out, helps things out, right? Then they get to have fun. Then they get to like isolate, and then the teacher goes, okay, you had fun? Okay, good. Now let's learn, right? Okay. You gotta minimize that, okay? Now, back to work. If you have a work environment and you pay a big salary, you want productivity, but you incentivize productivity. Productivity, if you're paying the same amount and you have a certain amount of employees that finish work ahead of time, and you say, look, if we get all our work done and then some, you could take Friday off the next week. Do you think they're going to incentivize even the ones that don't to everyone get the job done? Yes, but because they're all paid the same. Do you get it? Now some go, well, that doesn't work. We pay hourly. Then look at salary, man. There's a way to do it. Okay, you just break it up. You say, okay, this is your yearly, and then this is your monthly, and then you just keep it like that. That way, if they take time off for work, you know how to reimburse or not, pay. Okay, that's it. You do salary. That's it. You do salary. You do that. You're fine. Incentivize productivity. All right, that's all you got to do. Now, when it comes to teachers, you incentivize productivity, including the kids, and you have them incentivize productivity for the kids. They will help other kids who are struggling if they understand, hey guys, we have a potential next Friday off if we test well. Okay, we get our tests. On average, all of us, over C, you say C, okay? Not A. That's impossible with the amount of things that you're throwing at them, okay? You say C. If we can, as a class, be C, we can have the day off. I guarantee you those kids are going to be like, okay, who needs help? Okay? It's going to be a thing, guaranteed, okay? And the one that does it first is going to be the smart one in the room, okay? Call teacher. Incentivize. Say, hey, principal, question. We all get paid the same amount. We all do that. Now, I get it. Parents are like, what? Okay, but that's why you do Friday. Okay, you don't do Monday. You don't do Tuesday. You don't do Wednesday. But you go Friday, and you advance that notice to the teacher and, to the parent in the room, because they're the teacher as well. They're picking up double duty, especially if they're a parent that care about the kid. Okay, now there's some parents that don't care about the kid. I get that. But you say, look, okay, so I would start off at an age that makes sense where the kids can handle themselves at home if they're home alone. Okay, little kids like kindergartners, no. Preschoolers, no. They need full-time care. That's called you teacher, right? Or classroom, okay? So you got to start at an age that makes sense. Probably, I would say, anywhere from 5th on up. Okay, you start at that age. Okay, 5th on up. Okay, not the earlier ones, because those parents need those kids taken care of by somebody. But usually by the 5th grade, the kid can take care of themselves. Okay, so 5th on up. You offer that as incentive. I guarantee the parents will be like, one of two things. One, awesome, we got a 3-day vacation. Sweet. Or two, well, they're going to be happy. If everybody has an average above C, so you have the A's, get the A's. You have the B's, get the B's. You have the D's and possible F's, get a C. Now you combine it all. You get it? You just say, guys, we need to help everyone out. Okay, anybody who has that, has this, that. They will say thank you. Because now you have group involvement. And when you have group involvement with kids of that age, they're ready to help out other kids without making them feel stupid. Okay? So some will get frustrated. They'll be like, oh, come on. But you put an A with someone struggling, and they'll help that kid out, and they get smarter because now they reapply everything in their head, and they get smarter helping out a kid who's struggling. They just need help. Sometimes not from you, the teacher. All right? That's it. You can do it safely. Yeah. Wear your face mask. Okay, people. I'm out of town. I'm out of time. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. To those in the room, thank you. Let's see. We got Rhonda saying hello. Vicky saying hello. And Algina says, you must do the math. That's life. Yeah, but not core. There's nothing good that comes from common core. Okay, they add up in a weird way, man. I'm telling you. All right, people. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well.